Hi, thank you for visiting my channel. Today's video is about how I wash my e-bike. This is not necessarily how to wash your e-bike. I strongly encourage you to look at your manual, contact your manufacturer, and find out how they suggest you clean, maintain, wash your e-bike. However, you might find some things that would apply to any bicycle that wouldn't harm it, and I hope you do. That's why you're here. This bike in particular is a Domane Plus. It went on a bad journey yesterday. I had a 110-mile ride yesterday. Went down one trail that was flooded the day before. At the first sign of mud, I probably should have turned around, but I was really needing to get in some miles for my practice. I'm practicing to do a twice my age ride in October with 128 miles, and I just needed a different path to take, because if you keep repeating the same one over and over, it gets a little boring. So anyway, back to cleaning the bike. As you can see, this one got pretty dirty, pretty bad. I really hate to get my bike this bad. After it got this dirty, I put another 60 miles on it. And so it probably did a little excessive wear and tear on the chain and things like that. But I'm here today to clean it up, get it back hopefully nice and shiny and new. And I'm going to show you some of the techniques I use, all the way from washing the paint, cleaning the chain, cleaning the drivetrain, and the parts that I tried to avoid getting water. Of course, yesterday when it was spraying up water on it, about every part on the bicycle got wet. This bike has been caught in the rain several times while towing it, riding it. If your bike can't handle a little bit of rain, can't handle getting caught in the rain, your next purchase, you might want to consider looking at the IP rating of the bicycle. With that said, let's take a look at this one and just see how dirty it is. So again, Domane Plus has a bike rack on it. I put a trunk on it. That was a good thing, because it kept me from getting solid brown on my back. But as you can see, it had a rough ride. It was pretty bad. There's dirt caked up in places that I've not seen it before. All up and down the seat too. I have a top tube protector, which I'll probably take off and clean real well, so that in case there's any grit underneath it, it doesn't scratch the bike. I put that on there just to protect, like it says, top tube protector, and it protects the top tube. Front, just about as bad. And down here is where the battery mounts, as you can see. Some dirt did get into it. I had to carefully clean all that out. And front wheel hub itself is not too terribly bad. And back wheel is pretty dirty. Yeah, this one's going to be fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start, I'm going to try to get as much of the dirt, loose dirt, off of it as I can. The reason being is you don't want to immediately start rubbing on this dirt, because it's going to scratch your paint up pretty bad. I'm going to take off this top tube protector. Carry around spare straps with me. Velcro straps just in case, because you never know when you might need one. And they come in handy if you have them. This one has quite a few on it. All right, and then the 2 Velcro straps that actually hold it on. And like I said, I'm probably going to wash the inside of this. I already see some dirt they got on the inside, so I'm going to clean that up. And we're just going to begin washing off as much loose dirt as we can. I'm going to start with a loose spray. After I get the wheels clean, I'm going to probably take them off, make it easier to get some of the other parts. A lot of this loose stuff, or a lot of this dirt will come off pretty easily just with a gentle shower from the spray head. Up here is my controller on the Domane. I'm not real concerned about it getting wet. It should be waterproof for the most part. My concern places on this bike is down here near the motor. Don't know why I'm too concerned about that, because it gets wet when you ride it. So well, there's some stuff that's really glued on here. But a lot of it's coming off, fortunately. That way when I go to washing it, it's not going to scratch the paint up. This is actually a aluminum bike with a metal flake paint finish, and it being dark, it's going to show scratches pretty well. So I'll try not to scratch it up while washing it. I don't worry about getting the chain and the gear set wet. It's the only way you're going to get it clean. I do worry about getting water in the bottom bracket. They do have seals. For the most part, you know, like I said, you're going to be riding in the rain at some point. They're sealed, but there's no reason to test it, right? One thing you do not want to do is take a pressure hose to your bike. I mean, pressure washer, I'm sorry. Or even a high pressure hose of sorts. Because that will cause the water to get past your seals, or it could. And water, oil, gears don't mix. I used to be a mechanic, auto mechanic, and it was pretty easy to tell when people had water in their oil. Turns a kind of a milky color, and it's one of those things you never want to see in an automobile for sure. And I'm just kind of not really rubbing it hard. I'm just going over it softly with my fingers, because I get a little more aggressive with some cleaning stuff here in a little bit. Trying to knock off the loose sand, mud, dirt. It's already looking 1,000% better. Yeah. You could use a pressure washer on a bicycle in certain areas, but if it started out as dirty as mine was, it would be like sandblasting it. So I don't advise it. I don't really advise it under any circumstances. If I happen to be washing my house or something with my low power pressure washer, and I had a bike that needed to be cleaned, there's a chance I might would use the wide wand on it and spray it off. But I'm going to stay away from areas like the bottom bracket, which I'm pointing to, your axles, front and back. Keep water away from, or high pressure water away from them. Any controllers you might have on your bicycle. But in general, I mean, if your bike's in pretty good condition, and still wouldn't use like a zero nozzle on a high pressure washer, because it will strip the paint right off of certain things. So use the wide wand. You know, I have a foam attachment for mine. I really like I said, if I'm lazy doing something else with the pressure washer and I have a dirty bike, I'll probably use the wide wand on it and give it a quick hose down. But this one's going to be a little more comprehensive. May even take the wheels off, which I generally don't do, but for the most part all the loose stuff has come off. I was kind of hoping for rain on the way home, and calling, we got a tropical storm forming off the coast of North Carolina. I was kind of hoping that would catch me on the way home. I would have probably not had to do the initial cleaning of the sand and dirt. And that looks pretty good so far. And after a little rinsing, you can see it came pretty clear, or pretty clean. I'm going to fill up my wash bucket with some water and some car soap. I generally use turtle wax. Just remember, the more of this you put in with your water, the more aggressive it is, and it will actually remove some of your wax if your bike is waxed. So you'll need to re-wax it if you put too much in it. And so be careful with that. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit in there. That's the same stuff I use for my cars. If I was doing one of my cars, I would have rinsed the bucket out. Kind of particular about how I wash my vehicles, for sure. At least a little bit of dirt and grime on your rags or in the bucket going to definitely cause scratches on it, on your car, bicycle, whatever. So first thing I'm going to do is like I said, going to work on these wheels and tires and try to get them cleaned up a little bit. I may end up taking those off. Again, I'm going to wet it down again, front and back, before I start scrubbing these wheels. I'm going to actually start with a soft bristle brush and dip it in my suds here. And this is why I leave the wheels on while I'm cleaning them. Makes it a tad bit easier. Now these may take a little bit to get clean because I got some serious dirt embedded in the rubber. And generally, like I said, when I'm washing my car, I'm a little bit more careful. But generally, you want, on that two-sided pail, you'll want clean water and dirty water, and then your soapy water. And the clear water is to wash your brush out each time, so you're not carrying dirt. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that before I get to the paint. But I'm here, go ahead and get the spokes a little bit. You know, I don't worry about getting water back here on the back. Well, by the time I get done cleaning the chain and everything, it's going to see a lot of water. It shouldn't hurt it. Like I said before, just try to pay attention to the axle, where the axle goes through the wheel, and you know, don't put your hose right down against it and spray water into it. A little water running past it should not penetrate the seals. And this is how I do it. And I have some bicycles with 6,000 miles on it, and because I keep it maintained, I've not had to replace any major components. On my checkpoint, which is a non-e-bike, I've got around 6,000 miles on that bicycle. This one's catching up close and catching up to it pretty quickly. So that's kind of got the majority of this wheel. I'm going to do the overflowing here. Oops. And we've got this little guy here. He's got little fingers on him. He's pretty good in getting in some of these places. And now my water is, my soapy water is, and the clear water is both the same now. We'll survive. So I'm using this to get down in the hub area. Now, I know a lot of you folks have e-bikes with rear, powered by the rear hub. Personally, not a big fan of them. That's just my opinion. Don't ask why. They just don't seem to me, have the don't function like a real bike does. And since I do cross between e-bikes and standard bikes, I do like the fact that this bicycle rides just like my standard Domane rides. Why am I on an e-bike if I have so many standard bikes? Yeah, I got about 4-5 standard bikes from FX, Checkpoint, Domane, an old mountain bike, Trek mountain bike. I am a Trek fan, by the way. Big fan of Trek anything. And no, they didn't pay me to say that. Just telling you the truth. They've always held up good for me. My GoPro's being a little finicky. Said it was shut down because it was getting too hot. This is the first time I put the mod on it. So it must have something to do with it, because that thing has run non-stop for hours on some of my videos. And that didn't make a lot of sense. Probably going to shut down again. Wind's blowing. Now, I am out in the sun. That's probably what's helping it some. I'm going to go ahead and start washing some of these other components now. The rack I'm not too concerned about scratching up. If it did get boogered up, I can always throw a coat of paint on it pretty easy. But the sun's coming out really bright now, so that GoPro's probably going to shut off again. Trying not to get my little washy thing in any grease yet, or at all, because I got other cleaning stuff for the parts that have oil. Right now I'm just trying to get a lot of the surface, keeping everything good and wet. We'll wash it off a little bit before soap starts drying on it. See how wheel and tire turned out. See if I gotta go the extra mile on it. And turn down slow, hit that bottom bracket. All right. Looking pretty good. I'm using a little bit stiffer brush now on the tires. This one nice and newish looking when I'm done. I'm not using this on the rim because I learned the hard way a long time ago. On my wife's car, I was using a stiffer brush, probably maybe even this one, cleaning her rims, and after they dried, they were clearly scratched up. Didn't realize they had clear coat on them. All right, so still see a lot of places that need to be cleaned. Got some dirt down in there left, and up in there if we can get to that. But overall, the back is starting to look pretty good. So apparently the GoPro 11 is not a big fan of sitting still. Somebody remarked, you don't buy an action camera for it to sit on a tripod. So maybe I'm learning my lesson the hard way. I got much better cameras than this GoPro. Just choose not to break them out, but I may have to for future videos. Anyhow, had to take a pause and actually changed out a few things to maybe accommodate the overheating. We shall see. I actually changed out, took the battery out of the inside and connected the external battery to it. That was one suggestion that I found. Anyhow, back to washing a bicycle. Hopefully it won't die on me again for a while. We'll see. Better wash faster, huh? Get back wet again. It's not that hot out here today. Maybe in the 80s. I mean, it could be July and be 100 degrees out here. Try to lift the front end up. This guy does not like to change positions. Anywho, all right. We're gonna do the same thing with the front one. I just didn't know. I don't usually put the brush on the paint. Get the water bucket a little closer. Go ahead and right. Inside here, the fork here, that's pretty dirty. I'm gonna rinse it again. Another thing I like to do is when I'm on the paint, constantly keep water running on it. That way if it catches a little bit of sand, the thought is it will help knock it off before it scratches up the paint. Speed sensor on this hub makes it a little difficult. Like I said before, the front is not as bad as the back was. I have a thing of Dawn Power Wash. Another YouTuber uses this to clean his bikes. This is my first try at it. Let's see how it does. And it is a grease cutter, so I'd keep it away from axles as much as possible. Does give you a nice foamy spray. So far so good with the camera not shutting off, but I'm not going to count my chickens. It did have some time to cool off a bit while I was in the house fixing it. Get in here to the fork and get that nice and shiny. Got another little guy I use for tight places. He used to have a handle and it got broke off somehow, but it fits up in these little tight places a little bit better. Especially in the hub area. Inside of the brakes, brake caliper. I don't remember where I got this, but I wish I had another one. There we go. May not have to take the front wheel off this one. It looks like it's coming pretty clean everywhere. All right. What happened to my stiff brush? Sink. There it is. All right. That's the other wheel done. Bringing my baby back to life. I'm sure it's pretty mad at me for thinking it was a mountain bike, off-road bike, but it took one for the team. You can't see from that camera angle. But down here where I want to call it a transmission, maybe call it something else, there's actually water getting in there already. I think it's probably safe, but I'm going to turn it over. There's actually dirt in there I got to get out. I'm not real sure how I'm going to do that yet, but we'll figure it out. So let's get this little guy again. There's, like I said before, there's some places that didn't get clean up around in some areas. My brush didn't fit up in. There's one thing you got to remember: once you get all this cleaned up and dried off, you got a certain amount of maintenance you got to do, like re-oiling everything. Haven't even got to those parts yet, but hopefully we will here shortly, because it's moving right along. This guy here. And what this guy won't get, I get the toothbrush too. Yeah, there's always a way to get it. And you can see I'm clearly working around the bottom bracket with water. I mean, maybe it'll be to its detriment one day, but we got to get this dirt off of here because that's even worse for it. For those of you that are wondering, this bike, like I said, it's a Domane Plus. It's really not going to be your kind of bike if you're wanting power, because it's pretty weak. In fact, I bought it kind of as a conversion from going from an e-bike to a normal analog bike, if you will. I had knee surgery a couple of years ago, and pedaling a regular bike was a bit of a challenge, and I bought an Elant, which got me back up and running in as short as 21 days. I was back riding again. But it did become a little, it trained while it was, I did feel as exhausted when I went on a long ride on it. I did learn that it kept the heart rate down quite a bit, which when you get back on a regular bike, you need that extra blood flow going to your leg muscles, and that just wasn't happening, and I was tiring out pretty quickly. So this is kind of my transition bike to go from e-biking back to a standard bike. And it's definitely not going to be permanent. I do all my videos on my e-bikes because they're just a lot easier to do things on the e-bike, controlling the camera and not having to work as hard, etc. And I'm going to continue to do all my trail videos, which, by the way, if you're use stationary bikes during colder weather, then you can watch my videos while you pedal. And it seems my neighbor decided to start mowing his grass right in the middle of the video. So hopefully it won't completely ruin the video. Alright, we'll wash it till its paint comes off of it if I ain't careful. I still just see so much dirt on it. I think I'm going to probably be doing some waxing and polishing and you name it. I need my toothbrush, I know that. I got two brushes. Toothbrush and a bigger brush. That was pretty stiff, so I'll be careful where I put it. Let's do this. Some more Dawn power wash in here. Get this stuff. Some down here on the derailleur. Go ahead and start working on this area here. Okay, let's see. There was places I've seen. It's going to require a toothbrush. Let's go ahead and get all this. I actually see the orange, it looks like an orange seal on this side for some of this stuff. So far so good with the video cutting off on me again. Don't speak too soon. I see a lot of dirt on the other side of this crank. If that one's got it, I know this one's got it. Oh, I want the toothbrush. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of spray everything down with this Dawn degreaser or Dawn power wash. I am seeing some places where things I had wrapped around, like my the top bar bag I have, it's got worn places, and some additional Velcro straps I put on the battery, just kind of a safety thing. Not really necessary, but I am seeing some scratches, light scratching. Most likely will all buff out pretty easily. Yeah, I know this is taking some time to clean up. Keep getting interrupted too. Can't get the back side of this thing out very easily. I have to figure something out. Let's see, where's this guy? Yeah, he's usually good for tight places like that. Yes, I use clip-on pedals. Why? Because it helps me to keep my foot in the proper location. See a lot of people who do not ride their bicycles with their foot in the proper location. It's actually bad for your knees, and it makes you overall physics of riding a bicycle completely wrong. Smearing grease there. Had me a little concerned that I had scratched something. But yeah, the clip-ons, well, a lot of people have a hard time getting used to them, and I did myself, are very good for making sure your feet stay in place. Not only that, is you can generally, when your foot's just pushing down, you're wasting possible power stroke, and you can actually pull your pedal up, push down, pull up. So you're actually getting twice the, I want to say twice the power. I don't practice that as much as I should, but sometimes when if I start getting a cramp, I actually switch off from pushing to pulling. That either helps or makes it worse. But it's worth a try for me. So, starting to look like a bike again. Got a little trouble area on the bottom I've got to tend to. Then I'm gonna clean the chain set. I don't think the handlebars are all that bad. We'll give them a quick brush off. I know, I keep going over the same spots, but I want a clean bike when I'm done. So, a couple of places up underneath it that I got to work on. Like I said, I'm not real happy about those places, because that is where one of those areas that I don't like to get water in. So let's go ahead and rinse what we got off. I just filled up the bottom with water. Let's see how that works for it, right? You know, I try to keep the pressure just, not real high. I don't have that high water pressure anyway. If you're in the city where you got higher water pressure, then it might be different. I'm on the well, so my well pump does not provide the amount of pressure you can get from city water, city county water. Just hit the bottom again. Maybe by the time I get done, it'll be cleaned out for me. I won't have to do anything else. So there we go. Got 2 areas I need to finish. First thing I'm going to do is dump that water back out of that bracket on the bottom, I hope. Need to raise it up some. So the part I'm worried about is down here at the motor. It's got dirt in it. Keep spraying it. certainly got some seals in it. I would imagine, can't imagine it not. I need to get the dirt out of it though. Don't really want to spray any water in it. Now you can't see what I'm doing, but toothbrush again. I'm actually going to do a very light rinse to it. I mean, I've already had water all over it, so this damage is done if there's going to be any. Turn the bike up a little bit more. Make sure it drains well. There's another place we're going to get to in a minute. It's this lock here. I don't know. The whole idea of putting a battery on the bottom of a down tube like that is, to me, is just not a good idea. Guess maybe that's why they've started going with them all internal now. I don't know. But I'll put this guy on mist. Spray out this area here, and just gonna get it clean. Let's see, just a little bit more. An area I need to get. Oh, trusty. Oh, where you at? There you are. I don't think I'm ever gonna get this bike clean again. Ooh, chain's dirty. Again, people, if you're watching this is how I clean my bikes. Had pretty good success at it, I guess. Knock on wood, because this could be the time that I go put the battery in and nothing work. But e-bikes, I would say, do need more care. I don't think that they're as fragile as some would think they are. I mean, eventually you're going to ride your bike in the rain. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll get off of it and protect it with your body. I don't know. But I myself, I've been caught. I ride so many miles that I'm going to get caught in the rain. We travel with our bikes, haven't gone real far. We've left Raleigh, North Carolina area, went to Virginia, went to the New River Trail a few times, went to the Virginia Creeper, hoping to do the Silver Comet in Georgia soon. That'll be coming up on a video, hopefully, one day. And all these times, I mean, unless you have an enclosed trailer or something that you can put them in, you're going to get caught in the rain. And if your bike fails because you got caught in the rain, I don't know. I personally don't feel that the bike couldn't have been designed with a certain amount of protection against rain. And if it wasn't, like I said before, you may want to consider a different bike with a better IP rating. And she looks pretty good, guys. Gals. Well, one thing we got left to do is clean the chain real good. I'm gonna try to get a little better view of that, what I do there. Clean the cassette, the chain, derailleur, gears. Front sprocket's kind of clean now. I mean, the grit's all off of it. Need to get the old oil off of it. But yeah, coming along pretty good so far. Got one spot left on the bike before I do the chain. About forgot it. This little latch here. It's when I bought the bike, it was pretty ornery. You couldn't get the battery out to save you. I took it out the other day. It comes out with 4 screws, this whole assembly, and didn't really find anything wrong. Fortunately, when I put it in, it is adjustable, and fortunately, when I put it back in, apparently I put it back in a way that it solved the problem. My batteries now come in and out pretty easily, but they recommend actually oiling this thing. I don't think oiling it would be a good idea, simply because oil is just going to be a magnet for dirt. Hasn't never been oiled. What I'm going to do here is since it can get wet and this down here shouldn't get as wet, I'm going to cover it, but I'm going to rinse it out real good. Operate the lever a little bit while I do it. Ah. Oops. Rag got so wet it pulled off. Oh well. That wasn't supposed to happen. Try it again. Feels good and smooth. When I first did it, it felt pretty gritty. So that's good and done. I'm gonna actually keep I don't know how it's working without the key in it. Interesting. I actually have a cover that can go over this whole thing, so I'm gonna go grab that and put it in before I start cleaning the chain. That will help keep some of the water out. So I have the actual motor battery combination. Comes as it's actually 2 pieces, but it's been put together as one piece. As you can see, it's nice and dirty. I got to get that cleaned up. The battery actually fits in on this end, and if you listen, you can hear that all that dirt and grime. I'm gonna clean the battery off. Overall, I don't know, with kind of an engineering background myself, I'm not so sure I would have designed it this way, but hey, it's working so far. As long as it don't fail because of the dirt and grit getting into stuff, I'm okay. But anyway, that's the motor drive for it, or the motor. Battery fits in it. This is one of the batteries. I have 3 batteries for it. Like I said earlier on, this is not a very powerful e-bike. So if you're looking for something that's really going to take all the work off of you, you don't want this one. However, if you're looking for a bike that you want some pretty good exercise but still have that assist when going up hills and such, this is definitely the bike for you. This is one of my favorite bikes I have out of all the ones I have. So what I got here is just kind of a empty tube. It doesn't have a motor in it, no battery. It weighs less than a pound. They build this for people like myself that you know, transitioning from the e-bike back to a regular bike, because this bike acts just like a normal bike when you don't have the motor on. So, but if you wanted to take some of that weight off your bike, you sell this little guy here. It pops in the same place as the battery does, and covers up that big old hole, seals everything up a little, seals it up as good as it can, and that's that. I put it on just so I could clean this chain and not worry about getting water everywhere. So let's take a look at this chain now. So I'm going to work on the chain and drive system now. I just bought this, found it at Walmart the other day looking at the bike stuff in the bike section. WD-40 bike degreaser. Fast acting, removes grease and grime from gears and chains. I'm kind of hoping I don't make a mistake on this. I'm going to just barely test it out first, see how it does. Definitely want to keep it away from paint. Haven't read the instructions really. But I don't want it to get down in any of the bearings or seals, anything like that. So I'm going to give it a little whirl on the chain maybe. Then I'm going to show you how I normally clean the chain, but let's give this a try, see what happens. Oh, it's foamy. That's nice. Nice. I have a tool that's made for cleaning the sprockets out. We'll start with that on this degreaser. See what happens. All my foam went away. Alright, so this is a park tool. Comes with the kit. I'll be using in a second the rest of it. It actually cleans the chain. Got really stiff bristles. It's got these little shark jaws, I want to say, that goes in between each one of the sprocket, or each one of the gears. And get in there in between them, clean them out real good. Ah, I have hands in there. That's not good. Ouch. Yeah. Don't try this at home, boys and girls. Unless you want to get your hands eaten by a bicycle wheel. Okay, so I'm going to change the gears and get that chain down. I got something up front making some horrible noise. We'll find out what that is in a minute. Go ahead and rinse that off. See how well it did with just one try. Must have been some grit in the chain. Right here now. I don't want to get that rag wet. Alright. So normally I use simple green to clean the chain stuff. We're going to do that now. Also got some other tools I use for cleaning derailleur off real good. So yeah, take a little simple green. Pour it in a little tray so keep dipping into it. So now I'm just going to clean these sprockets real good. Hopefully. I think I knocked this guy off. He's making a lot of noise. Maybe not. Alright, so here again. I use simple green. It's not as strong. Parks Tools actually makes a cleaner that comes with their chain cleaner. You get one little bottle. I went through a couple of bottles of it and found someone on YouTube who suggested using simple green because it's a lot cheaper. Ouch! That felt good. Okay. So a toothbrush again. It hasn't been long since I cleaned this, so it doesn't have a lot of stuff, a lot of gunk buildup in it currently. Not from oil and grease. Yeah, it's go ahead and get these wheels here. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is use a chain cleaner, Parks chain cleaner. You put a little cleaning fluid in it. Has like a foam brush. Wheel with brushes on it that gets the sided chain. You got a wheel that gets the outside of the chain or inside of the chain, depending on where you have it. This one's been used quite a bit. I've broken it, so I'm actually just going to hold it together. So you put your chain inside of it like this, and run it around a few times. The water in is going to be black. Then you can rinse it out. Do it again. Put some fresh cleaner in it. And I generally like to do this like 3 times. By that time it's really good and clean. So I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that's going to not be in 100% agreement with me on how I clean my bike. That's fine. We all have opinions. You're more than welcome to make comments on how you do something. Always open for opinions. I am no bike mechanic right now. Plan to be one day. See if we can have it on the other side of it. I mean, this really does a good job of cleaning the chain. If you don't have one, you need to get one. Just rinse it out. I got a manual one in there that I just bought. I'm not going to test it out today. I'm going to say manual, but it's more a tool that has brushes on 3 of the sides that you just put around the chain and put some cleaner on it. And let's clean this up. Really concerned about whatever that noise is coming out of the front up there. And I'm hoping it's hitting the derailleur. Oh, it is. I see it now. Putting it all the way down into the high gear brings the chain all the way over here. It's actually hitting that front derailleur. So that's what I was hearing. So now, after doing all this, I'm going to have to wait, and it won't take long for that chain to dry. As you can see, how clean that came. Nothing. Oh, look at that. From earlier, put on the fingers and nothing. So it came clean. One last thing I want to do to this thing. We'll call it a day. Move the camera back here a little bit. So we've cleaned everything and then cleaned the seat. Wasn't really dirty. We'll wipe it down a little bit. We just got it all wet again. Boy, she's pretty. I love my Domane. I should say, more appropriately, I like my Domane. Really like it. See some, it's funny how if you don't actually rub something till it's shiny, it kind of stays dull, but I'm going to do something here in a second to help that out. But this bike is clean. It's got to dry. The chain's got to dry off. The one last thing I'm going to do now is hope the camera won't shut off on me again. I use the same thing that I would use on my car for quick detailing, and spray the rag. Spray the rag real well, and I'm just going to go wipe it down real good. I see some rub spots from like my bag that goes under the top post here has rubbed a spot on it, but it can probably be compounded out, polished out. So I'm just going to use this detailer and just give it a good quick once over. Make her shine. Make me feel like I got a new bike again. Folks, I want to thank you for watching. Please feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer them. It's not like I got a lot of subscribers right now, but hopefully one day I will, and I'll be able to put out more content. Hopefully I'll be able to do more bike maintenance videos, and because there's nothing, it's just like a car. I think a car actually needs more maintenance than a bike nowadays, because you're constantly, all the mechanical parts are on the outside of the bike and exposed to the elements. So you got to keep them clean, lubricated. Keep your cables lubricated. If you can't do it yourself, take it to your bike shop, let the mechanics there do it. But normal maintenance is fairly easy. Keep your bike clean. Don't be scared of the water. Or don't be scared of the water getting on your bike. I've never had a problem with it. And all you bike mechanics can argue it with me, I don't care. Just be careful where you do use the water. Keep it clean. You gotta tell me, that's I think it's just time to sit back and look at this bike now. Everybody, thanks for watching. Y'all come back and see me.